So now in this module, okay, so it is particularly concerned about the linear filtering methods, and the linear filtering methods, they are particularly based on discrete Fourier transforms. So here you know some of the concepts regarding the linear convolutions as well as the circular convolutions from this particular subject. That whenever you have x of n and h of n, okay, say for example, assume that, okay, so x of n is your input sequence. X of n is a input sequence. So this input sequence, okay, so you want to pass it through a filter. Okay. So filter, it has the filter response and it is given by h of n. Okay. So therefore, the x of n sequence is going to convolve with the h of n, and the result of the filter we call it as a convolution, or the filter of the or the output of the particular filter is actually the resultant of linear convolution. Okay. Linear convolution, it is between x of n, so x of n sequence, and it is h of n sequence. Okay, and this the output of the filter. Okay, so we call it as y of n. It is the same notation here also we are going to use. So y of n, now onwards I will write it as, it's a linear convolution operation, that is x of n star h of n. Okay, so now this particular equation, so this represents the action of the h of n, that is impulse response of the filter on the incoming signal x of n. Okay. Therefore, now this particular filtering operation, how it can be done now using discrete Fourier transform. That is what is our topic. So that's why your first topic in this module will be use of DFT in linear filtering. Use of DFT in linear filtering. Okay. So how you can perform linear filtering operation with the help of DFT, and so this is actually done by what? DFT IDFT method. Okay. So by performing linear convolution using DFT IDFT method, we are doing the linear filtering operation. Or in other words, you can say that, so how you can show the linear filtering operation. Okay. So by doing linear convolution in DFT IDFT domain. Okay. So for this again, as we have to take the help of DFT and IDFTs. Okay. So here a little bit procedure is different. Okay. So you just try to recall how you used to do this linear convolution operation between two sequences. Okay. So you keep one sequence constant, for example x of n, other sequence, so you are taking the mirror image of that, and later on you are shifting the sequence, then multiplying and adding sample by sample, and the resultant you are generating, and that result is y of n, and that we call it as the output of the linear filtering operation. Now here, instead of doing that, so we make use of DFT and IDFT concepts. Okay. But here one condition is there that should be satisfied before application of this particular concept. So now from the linear convolution operation, you might be knowing that. Okay, so for example, if our sequence x of n is 1, 2, 1, that's it's a 3 sample sequence, and if the impulse response of the filter h of n is 1 and minus 1, okay, so then the length of the sequences is most important. Okay. So for example, in linear convolution operation, what is the length of the output sequence? Length of output sequence is equal to L plus m minus 1. Okay, so where L is nothing but length of the input sequence x of n, and m is nothing but the length of the filter response. Okay, and L plus m minus 1 will be the length of output sequence y of n. So this 4. Okay, now in this case 4 is nothing but it is the what length of y of n sequence, or it is the output of linear convolution. Okay. So therefore, in time domain linear convolution, we are not worried about these two parameters L and M. So whatever may be the length of x of n, or whatever may be the length of this impulse response h of n. Okay. So you will go on performing the convolution, and finally, when you check the length of y of n, it will always satisfy this condition L plus m minus 1. But particularly when we are using DFT IDFT methods, so here one restriction has to be applied regarding the length of the sequences that are convolved. Okay, so what is that restriction is? So first you have to find what will be the length of output sequence y of n. For example, here I have taken one example here. So this is an example to show how exactly this calculation is done. Okay. Now in this example, what I am considering is x of n sequence is 1 to 1 and this h of n sequence is 1 and minus 1. Okay, so what are the lengths? So m is equal to 3 for me. So m here represents length of x of n and obviously n is equal to 2. Okay. So now before doing any other operation, so first I will calculate what will be the length of the convolution. Okay, so L plus m minus 1 as usual. So it will give you 3 plus 2 minus 1. So this 4 is nothing but the number of samples present in the output sequence y of n. Okay, this y of n is actually what it is. It is the output of filtering operation. What is the input to that filter? Input to the filter is x of n and the filter impulse response is h of n. Okay. So therefore now once you obtain this answer as 4, okay, so now we have to change the lengths of both x of n and h of n sequences according to this number. Okay, so by appending with the zeros. See now initially what I have, the length of x of n is 3. So therefore now I will stretch x of n, the length of x of n to 4 by appending one 0. Okay, so therefore now x of n has a length of 4. Similarly, now originally h of n has only 2 samples. So now I will stretch its length to 4 by appending 2 zeros. By appending 2 zeros. So now both x of n and h of n, they have the equal number of samples. This is because we are making use of what? DFT IDFT method. Okay, that's why the length has to be same. Length have to be same. Okay. So then what this particular procedure says is, that is how to perform the linear filtering operation with the help of DFT IDFT is. Okay. So first you have to see this particular formation here. Okay. So what this equation indicates is your linear convolution output or filtering output y of n is equal to IDFT of x of k into h of k. Okay, so this actually represents what? Output of, okay, so this is the linear filtering operation. Linear filtering operation result it is. Okay, so what it says, the filter output y of n is nothing but IDFT of the product x of k into h of k. Okay, and this y of n is same as the linear convolution output that you would perform simply in the time domain by using our shifting, addition and multiplication operation. Okay, so later you can verify the result also. So now here particularly we are making use of DFT IDFT to generate our results. Okay, so if we are using that method, that is DFT IDFT method, what is the procedure is, the output of linear convolution operation y of n is nothing but it's the IDFT of this particular product. So product of what? X of k and h of k. What is x of k? X of k is nothing but DFT of x of n sequence and h of k is nothing but DFT of h of n sequence. Okay, so therefore if you perform the DFTs of these two and multiply these two and perform IDFT operation on this particular product, then whatever the resulting sequence is there, this is nothing but the linear filtering operation. So it is nothing but your output sequence it is. It is nothing but the output sequence. Okay. So therefore now what is our procedure in order to generate y of n? So first you have to find x of k and h of k. And how to find x of k and h of k? So they are nothing but the DFTs. So you can either go for solving the equations or you can use the matrix method also. The second one is you have to take the product of x of k and h of k. So once you get this product, okay, so then you have to perform IDFT of the product and that IDFT is going to give me the y of n, which is nothing but the output of the complete operation. Okay. So therefore now let us consider how to generate this x of k. You should solve this now. You should go on solving x of k and similarly h of k. So now find x of k by simple matrix method only, because in these type of problems, as they are lengthy, because you have to find DFT as well as IDFT, it is better to solve by matrix only. Okay. So now you just enter, you just give me the solution here. What is this x of k value? So you go for the matrix method only. So write down the matrix, you go on solving it, tell me what is the solution. So 1 minus 1, and again I have 1 and 1. So last row is again 1 j, so minus 1 and minus j. So now here, what is that sequence that we are using is 1 2 1 0. Okay. Therefore 1 2 1 0 is our matrix. So now here you generate so what is the result here? You please tell. X of k?
4.
4. Correct?
4.
Huh? Huh?
4 minus 2.
4 minus 2j.
4 minus 2j 0 plus 2j
0 2j.
0 2j.
plus 2j
Zero.
ma'am.
Plus j.
Plus j.
Plus 2j ma'am, 2j.
Okay. Not 3, it is j2. Please verify. J2 na?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is our x of k. X of k it is. So similarly now the same matrix you write down, but here what is the sequence? Sequence is 1 minus 1 0 0. So here what is the result?
0.
Zero.
Just a minute.
Okay.
Just a minute.
Yes. So here matrix will remain same. So the solution will be 0. Next
1 plus j.
1 plus j
1 plus j.
1
Next
plus j. Next
2.
2 1 minus j ma'am.
1 minus j.
2, ma'am. 2.
no 2 correct. 2 last will
1
be
minus j.
1 minus
1
j.
minus j.
Okay, so the answer will be 1 minus j. So you note down 4 minus j2 0 j2 for the x of k. H of k is this. So now you take the product. So tell me the product now.
Zero.
First answer will be 0. Okay. Next
2 plus 2 minus j2.
2 minus j2. Then
0.
again 0. Next 2
2 plus j2.
plus j2. Okay. See, this is what is the product. So now what the procedure says? So your y of n will be it is IDFT. So IDFT between what is that, x of k and h of k. Okay, now you have to do the IDFT between these two. So therefore, y of n is equal to what you have to write, 1 by 4. Why it is 1 by 4? IDFT equation. Okay, even if you solve by matrix method, it will be 1 by 4 into, insert the same matrix now. So you just write the inverse matrix. 1j, of course it is minus 1, now it is minus j. Yeah, IDFT matrix. So again 1 minus 1 and minus 1, and in the last row it will be 1. So now minus j, minus 1, then plus j. So this is IDFT matrix. So with this matrix you have to just multiply this matrix. Okay, so multiply this. So you tell me the result. So what is y of n?
4.
Huh?
4, ma'am.
Here 1 by 4 is there. This you
Oh,
should
one,
not
ma'am.
forget. 1 by 4 is there already. So once you get the product, you should divide every component by 1 by 4.
1, ma'am.
1. Okay. Then
1.
1. Next.
Minus 1.
Minus 1. Next.
Minus 1.
Minus 1. So this is what is the solution. That is the solution. So now, so y of n is equal to, so y of n is equal to, so the solution will be 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1. So now whatever this the sequence that we have obtained, 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1, actually what it is? What is this actually? 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1? Huh?
Filter operation, ma'am.
It is a filter output. Okay, so it is the result of a filtering operation. So y of n here represents the output of linear filtering operation. But what is the difference here? This you have done even in the previous subject also, in signals and systems, in linear convolution. But there you are keeping one sequence constant, for example x of n, and you are reversing what? Another sequence h of n, and that you are calling it as taking mirror image. Okay, so later on you are shifting or sliding over h of n over x of n, and every time you will multiply every sample and then add. Okay, so you are going to generate all the 4 samples. So 4 times shift is going to give you the result. But here we are not adopting that method, but instead what we are using, it is again a linear convolution output only. Okay, but the method is using DFT and IDFT. Okay, so both the DFT is also involved as well as IDFT is also involved. Okay, so using these two we are generating again the linear convolution operation. Okay, so again here also h of n represents the filter impulse response, Okay, so because according to the filter input response, our sequence x of n is going to be affected. Okay, so every operation is same. Only thing is, instead of direct time domain convolution operation, you are adopting it in the frequency domain by employing both DFT and IDFT. Okay, so what is the verification you can do here? Huh? For example, I want to verify what is the result by just our normal linear convolution operation. So in that case, what you have to do? Do you remember at least how did you perform linear convolution? So first, you take the given sequence. Okay. So here there is no need to worry about the length and all. So you take the sequence as it is. So you start doing the linear convolution operation. So 1 to 1 is there. This is our first sequence. So the second h of n, you are going to take the mirror image of that one. So when you take the mirror image, so what you are going to get? Minus 1 here, but just below 1, you are going to get the 1. So this is a mirror image. So later on, okay, so you just are going to multiply sample wise. So now here minus 1 into 0, 0, but here 1 into 1. So now for 1 into 1, you are going to get the result. This is the 1. So this is our, what actually we are generating. This is y of 0 sample it is. This is y of 0. So now here also we have got y of 0. So this is y of 0, 1. Okay. Similarly, in the next sample, what you have to do? In the next operation, you have to simply shift the second sequence. So first sequence will remain same. This is x of n is going to remain same. Okay. Next, when you shift it, so what is the next answer? It will be minus 1. Okay. So the second sample that is generated will be y of 1. Oh, sorry, 1 into 1 minus 1. So next sample plus 2 also you have to add. So 2 into 1 also you have to do. Okay, so now the answer will be 2 plus 1, 1. So this is nothing but the next sample y of 1. Are you following this? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you understanding or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you remember this operation? I hope you have
Hi.
done it in signals and systems.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, here I am using only for the verification. That's all. Okay, so now whatever one I have got, the second sample, okay, already it is available here. So next, what is the next step? What is the next step? What is the next step?
Shift one more time.
Shift one more time. Shift one more time. So now 2 into minus 1. So what you are going to get? Minus 2. Then 1 into 1, it will be plus 1. Plus 1. So answer will be here, minus 1. Answer will be minus 1. Okay, what actually it is? It is y of 2. It is actually y of 2. Did you understand? So this minus 1 is already is there. Okay, so we are simply verifying our results, that's all. So then next step will be shift it one more time. So now this time only these two samples are going to overlap. So therefore my answer will be here minus 1, that's all. Okay, so 1 into minus 1, minus 1. So this minus 1 is nothing but it is actually representing what it is. So third sample. So y of 3 sample it is. Y of 3 sample. So already I have this minus 1 as the answer. Okay. So therefore here they represent what now? So y of n is equal to okay. So I am generating what? I am generating y of 0, comma, what is that? Y of 1, comma, y of 2, y of 3 it is. Y of 3. Did you understand this? Okay. So now these are the verifications. So by just performing linear convolution also you are going to get it, but this is in the frequency domain operation. By using both DFT IDFT also it is possible to generate. That's why what is our title? Our title is linear filtering methods based on the DFT. Okay, so we are employing DFT and IDFT concept here to get the output of the filter. The filter has the impulse response h of n and the filter has the input x of n. Okay. At least did you understand the procedure and did you follow how it is verified?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Okay. So what you do is, as an assignment, you take another sequence. You just practice this particular flow. Okay. So you take any other random sequence. Say for example 1, 2, 3. Okay. So any other value like 2, 3, and you practice. Here also you are going to get the length as 4 only. Length as 4 only. Okay. But if it is a 4, you can do all this. Okay. But if it is not 4, because x of n can be of any length, similarly h of n can also be of any length. There is no restriction that they have to be always 3 and 2. Okay. Here I have taken example 3 and 2 because I should get L plus m minus 1 as 4, so that I can show you how your DFT and IDFT matrix can be utilized to get x of k and h of k and finally the linear convolution outputs. But what if the lengths are different? Okay, say for example, if I get here L plus m minus 1 as 5, then I cannot use this matrix to get x of k. In that case, what I can do? I have to go for obviously the equations. I have to write 5 equations for x of k, 5 equations for h of k, another 5 equations for IDFT. That becomes a lengthy procedure. Okay, so therefore an alternate solution exists for that. Okay, so whenever this length is other than 4, then how can we show the results? Okay, so that part we will discuss in the later sessions. So today you just practice this method and you also do this verification also. So at the end you do the verification so that you will understand in a detailed manner. So today we will close the session. So you practice that assignment problem.